All right, so we are going to go ahead and start Unit 3, Lesson 2. Lesson is called Do We Need Carrots? Okay, our goal is going to be to make a shopping list. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. There we go. Okay, so your paper looks like this. Okay, and so let's look at A. It says predict. Look at the picture. What are Augustine and Sylvia doing? Well, first of all, Augustine and Sylvia are in the kitchen, right? And if you look closely at the picture, they are drinking coffee. And it also looks like they are talking or writing a list. So let's look at B. It says, read the paragraph. Augustine and Sylvia make a shopping list for the restaurant every Thursday morning. On Thursdays, they are not busy. They already have a lot of food this week. They don't need to buy very much. All right. So let's go ahead and look at C. It says, listen to Augustine and Sylvia make their shopping list. Check each item that they need. All right. Oh my. Oh, looks like it reopened for me. Wrong one.
On Thursdays, Augustine and Sylvia are not busy at the restaurant. They make a shopping list every Thursday morning. Today, they don't have to buy a lot of food at the store. Augustine says they need ground beef. Sylvia says they don't need turkey, and they don't need tuna fish or chicken. Augustine says they need ham and bacon. Sylvia says they don't need lettuce, carrots, or tomatoes, and they don't need fresh fruit, sugar, or flour. Augustine doesn't like to shop for food, but he wants to help Sylvia. Sylvia doesn't shop for food because she works many hours at the restaurant. Sylvia and Augustine try to help each other. Augustine doesn't like to shop, but he shops anyway to make his wife happy. They're not a rich couple, but they are a happy couple.
All right. Let's go ahead and listen again.
On Thursdays, Augustine and Sylvia are not busy at the restaurant. They make a shopping list every Thursday morning. Today, they don't have to buy a lot of food at the store. Augustine says they need ground beef. Sylvia says they don't need turkey, and they don't need tuna fish or chicken. Augustine says they need ham and bacon. Sylvia says they don't need lettuce, carrots, or tomatoes, and they don't need fresh fruit, sugar, or flour. Augustine doesn't like to shop for food, but he wants to help Sylvia. Sylvia doesn't shop for food because she works many hours at the restaurant. Sylvia and Augustine try to help each other. Augustine doesn't like to shop, but he shops anyway to make his wife happy. They're not a rich couple, but they are a happy couple.
All right, so when you look at the list, there was only 3 things they needed. They needed ground beef, and what else did they need? They need bacon, and they also need ham. All right, so if you look at D, it says write sentences about what Augustine and Sylvia need and don't need. All right, so Number 1, it says they need ground beef. Okay, they don't need, let's say turkey. Okay, so you will write 3 more sentences. Okay, and you will write what they need and what they don't need. So you have your list, they only need 3 things. Okay, so you will write sentences 3, 4, and 5, and then I will check them on Tuesday, excuse me, not Monday. Okay. So let's go to the next page. Okay, so this is what we call containers, right? So for example, we have our first one is carton. Okay, carton is cartón. Por ejemplo, for example, ice cream comes in a carton. Right? Un helado viene en cartón. The next one is box, caja, or boxes, cajas. Next one after that is pound or pounds, libra or libras. For example, tomatoes vienen en libra. Oops, se me olvidó jar. Jar es un frasco. Okay, so we talked about pounds. The next one is bags. Bags, una bolsa. Por ejemplo, flour, harina, comes in bags, viene en bolsas. Next one is bottle o botella. Por ejemplo, aceite, oil, comes in a bottle, viene en una botellita. Okay, next one is can or cans, latas. Por ejemplo, vegetables come in cans. So you can have like canned green beans, ejotes de lata. Next one is gallon o galón. Next one is loaves. Loaves is como si fuera una barra. Por ejemplo, bread, pan, comes in a loaf. Okay, so for example, let's look at the shopping list. Okay, for milk, it says 3 gallons. Okay, ponemos la palabra gallon. We put the word gallon because we know that milk is in a gallon, right? So for example, the next one across, it says ground beef 2. Okay, so when you think about it, ground beef, what kind of container does it come in? ¿En qué contenedor viene? Okay, ground beef usually is by the pound. So 2 pounds, usamos pounds y no pound porque es plural. Next one is flour is 2 2 bags of flour. Next one is sugar. Sugar comes in bags, so 3 bags. Tomatoes. They usually come in pounds. 5 pounds. Next one, jam, is 1 jar. Jam es como mermelada. Next one is bread. Remember, bread comes in a loaf. Loaf is 1, so plural is loaves. 3 loaves. Next one is oil. Oil comes in bottles. So we have 2 bottles, dos botellitas. Next one is cake mix, which is 2 boxes. Oranges, 3 pounds of oranges. Ice cream, 4 cartons. And last one, chicken soup. We have 4 cans. Okay, so then there's a couple more things to look at. For example, sometimes when you talk about a question and you're trying to ask for how much there is of something, you can use the word any or some. They kind of go hand in hand and kind of mean the same thing. Okay, for example, do we need any milk or do we need some milk? Okay, those words just refer to quantity, but it doesn't specify. No especifica la cantidad. Okay, típicamente lo usas con productos que no puedes contar. Por ejemplo, como la leche, yo no te puedo decir que necesitamos una leche. Necesitamos un galón de leche, right? So usually that is what you use for some or any. Now with plurals, okay, we have the EZ, okay? So these words right here, when you add the S makes the Z sound, like Z. For example, cartons, pounds, jars, bottles, loaves, bags, cans, gallons, okay? And then you have the words where you add the ES, which sound like es, like boxes, okay? Now let's look at F. It says practice a conversation with a partner. Use items from the shopping list to make new conversations, okay? For example, Augustine says, do we need any milk at the store? Yes, we need some milk. Okay? So when you answer that, you are not specifying how much milk, right? So, for example, that's why Augustine says, how many gallons do we need? We need 3 gallons. Okay, so when you use the word any or some, you are not specifying a quantity. Okay, let's go ahead and go on to the next one. Let's look at G. So study the chart with your classmates and teacher. Okay, so I know we talked about this a little bit before, your count and your non-count nouns, okay? So for your count nouns, use many with nouns you can count. For example, tomatoes you can count, right? Okay. You know, you can say 1 tomato, 2 tomato, right? You can buy tomatoes by themselves. Los puedes comprar individualmente, right? It is a count noun. Es un noun que puedes contar. Okay. When you talk about pounds, estás preguntando cuántas libras de tomates necesitan. Todavía puedes contar esas libras, right? So it's still count. Now, so for count, vas a usar how many. How many blank do we need? How much do we need? Lo vas a usar for non-count nouns. Okay, no los puedes contar. Okay, por ejemplo, flour, harina. Okay, harina yo no puedo contar. Okay, yo no te puedo decir, necesito 3 harinas. Te puedo decir, necesito 3 bolsas de harina, pero individualmente la harina no la puedes contar. Igual como el arroz. El arroz no puedes contar los granos de arroz, right? So those are non-count porque no los puedes contar. So se usa how much. How much flour do we need? How much rice do we need? So when you look at H, it says complete the sentences with much or many. Okay, so for example, let's look at number 1. You have bananas. Okay, bananas are a count noun. Es algo que puedes contar. So number 1 would be many. How many bananas do we need? Let's look at number 2. Okay. Bottles of oil. Botellas de aceite. Las botellas de aceite sí se pueden contar. So it is many. Ahora, si dijera nomás aceite, entonces no usara la palabra many. Okay. Now let's look at number 3. How blank do we need? Okay, oil. Okay, ahora ya no dice botella. So en vez de many, I'm going to use how much oil do we need? Okay, I want you to do numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 on your own. Okay, and then I will check those on Monday. You're not going to do I or J. Okay, don't worry about those. But, oh, I didn't mean to do that. But you do have homework with this activity. Okay, it is page 47, 48, and 49. Okay, if you have any questions over the lesson or over the homework, please let me know. Otherwise, I will see you on Tuesday. Thank you.